Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? Guys, the eighth sun has become somewhat of a um, somewhat of a show that I definitely am looking forward to watching, simply because of not only how much little details they were going in to show us these kids who wanted to recruit him were just like him and doing everything they absolutely could to impress some people just to get some, you know, get some attention from the guy who they actually wanted to work with. But all of a sudden, they find out very quickly that he is dumb powerful. And I think this is where people might like the show is knowing how ridiculously strong he is compared to what there is out there. His teacher being one of the top 5 magicians in the whole entire world leads me to believe that he's in a position to pretty much do the same or even better just because of the training he's taken and the people he's like already impressed thoroughly. So I think they're doing a really good job with giving us this information. Not only that, it feels like he can and will probably be really, really, uh, really dense. Like he won't notice certain things about people because he's so focused on trying to do something else for them, or just in the grand scheme of this week's episode, he was trying to make sure he stood out. So hopefully some people would actually want him on this team. And come to find out, everybody did. It's just that no one felt like they were noticed by him, I guess you can say. So they just didn't even want to try anymore. Um, I mean, he was out there hunting bears while other people were just bringing in one deer or two boars, right? So there's a huge gap when it comes down to actual level. Excuse me. And just how far apart they were. But it gets really interesting with the regards of learning just what has been going on with the people who knew about the passing or the departure of, you know, the master that started teaching our main character. And the sucky part about it is he definitely was a cool character, the master, and the messed up part is it was a good thing he showed us what's out in the world, because if you hang on to any type of dreams or any types of the passions that you have, you turn into a whispering one, right? So not only do you have to worry about something as weird as turning into a zombie that can start to hurt and want to kill people that you know and love, but you have no control over it because you lose who you are as a whole. Um, that was pretty telling of just where the story was probably going to continue to go as a whole. Not only do we find the people who taught him, but now we have to figure out just why, how and why did the master of our eighth son, well, how did he end up dying? Like, what was the event that got him killed? Like in the case of the event, we know a whole bunch of monsters attacked and he was one of the frontline people. But why did this attack happen? Who was in control of the attack, if there was anybody? And that's kind of what I'm getting at here. Like, where and why did these things happen? And since they happened, who was capable, excuse me, who was capable of actually taking them down? That was the crazy part to think about. All of this is they're that ridiculously strong, and somehow they can actually um, be taken out over time. So with him, with the master dying to pretty much whatever came against him in this little war where it was like demons versus humans pretty much, it feels like there was no exposition explained as to if there was a human controlling them, if there's like a demon lord out there, like how did all of these demons come together to just work towards one goal? Um, and we don't even know if they came out victorious, right? Like we know he lost his life during this, but did the did the humans actually win this battle? Because it's not like they're extinct or anything, right? So I thought that was pretty interesting that they don't even give us a hint as to like what happened in the case of if they lost, if they won, why this battle even took place. All we know is that it took place and one of the top 5 magicians was a casualty because of it. So I definitely am interested in just why certain things happen. Um, but to get back into just the kid and how ridiculously broken he is, he straight up has a magic pouch or magic bag that can hold bears and stuff like that. Not to mention the fact that he can fly. Do the he used his magic to pretty much bring up a whole bunch of rocks out of the ground to impale wolves that instantly killed them. So there's a lot of things going for this character, and I feel like that's another reason why it's going to be ridiculously fun to watch him grow. Because not only does he have all these things going for him, um, no one really wanted to be around him because they felt like they just weren't worthy. It was the weirdest thing to see so many people just kind of be like, oh, I gotta know my place, and there's no way that magic user would have. Like, it's almost like they put a stigma on magic magicians because they're so rare that there's no way they would ever, talk to lower class people and stuff like that, which made a lot of sense after you see who's interested in him, right? Like, all of a sudden we're watching the top of the top people already hearing about him and wanting to invite a whole entire class just so they can talk to one person within said class. So that's kind of how far his powers have gotten him just by word of mouth alone. So yeah, it should be relatively interesting to see who actually ends up on this guy's bad side, or above all else, what types of missions we're going to see and stuff like that. Because hopefully these kids know now that they can rely on him or be on a team with him, because he wants them to be on a team. He thinks that out of everybody he's seen, he's going to have fun with them. He's going to enjoy himself, grinding and learning, different things and aspects of what's going on in the world while they're by his side. And I like his explanation because it seems unrealistic, but at the same time, I truly hope we are in for a good show. Because I thought it was hilarious this week, even though it's not supposed to be like a comedy or whatever. But they made very, very close to comedy references the whole time, just because it was funny to see him want friends and want to team up, but everybody was like, oh no, we're not even worthy to be his teammate. And all he wanted to do was just talk to anybody. So I don't know. I really did enjoy this episode. I could see a lot of potential in this show, so I'm definitely going to be talking about it until the season's over. I guess there's a 3 episode rule after you watch the 3rd episode, and if you like it, you're supposed to keep watching it, and if you don't like it, you probably drop it after 3 episodes. I don't know who came up with the rule. I'm just relaying it back to you guys. But yeah, with all that being said, everybody have an amazing day, night, evening. Your boy got to go to work. Um, so blow me up in the comments if I miss any anime that drops today, because as of yesterday, I did so many different shows, and then another show dropped late that if I just happen to not check, if any animes came out, I would have missed it. So let me know if I haven't posted something that you want to talk about, and I'll look into it. So with all that being said, everybody, have an awesome one. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I will definitely talk to you sooner than later. Peace.